welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. Got your boys here, Landy and Bert, the Dividend Diplomats. Guys, there was a shocking 13% drop for this Dividend King. To make it even worse, Landy, this King has lost
Get
half
worse.
its value in the last 5 years. Let's
Oh
take
man, guys, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to like this video, guys. A big stock drop. And Bert, is the big teaser here a big stock drop for a king?
Yeah, Dividend King
Oh,
come falling down. But it shouldn't be that.
all comes tumbling down on the dividend kings that we
It
love.
shouldn't be that surprising though, because this stock is in the consumer goods. They're in the consumer what discretionary the food you get your cheap food that's fighting inflationary battle, so it shouldn't be surprising that their margins are getting compressed and they're lowering guidance. Makes sense in this
Oh
environment.
yeah. And Bert, do we know if was it any tariff induced or was it just higher prices?
It's actually it was I would probably say it was probably a little bit of each if I had to guess. Let's name the stock so we can talk a little bit more in depth about it so you're not guessing which company we're talking about.
Hmm.
Hormel, ticker symbol HRL. They dropped 13% after earnings and guidance. And yes, Lanny, that's basically, I think that it was rising beef costs, rising pork costs, and the cost of nuts. I think management described it as,
Costed my nuts.
yeah, that's what they said to these investors. How about these nuts? Is because basically is what they said because they said the market for all of these products have worsened significantly beyond our projections. So some of it's tariff induced, some of it's labor induced, some of it's shortage induced, and some of it will be tariff. I said tariff, I think already, but tariff induced because you're importing. Some of it. Hard part for Hormel is their products are also they have some of the top brands out there. We'll put the picture up there with Jenny Spam. Oh, like the
Mm,
Hormel, obviously
pepperoni, baby.
they can only raise costs so much because you have generics in the store that are already undercutting them where people are going to flock cheaper as your products get too expensive. So you as your costs go up, I think they said in one of them pork belly prices that's used for their bacon went up 30%. I don't
Oof,
think
yeah,
you can sneak in.
hard.
Yeah, that's huge. You can't up increase your price by 30% and expect the consumer to keep buying it. That's a tough spot for Hormel to be in.
Hopefully, it's short term.
Yeah.
Price increases for Hormel, but obviously, when it's impacting that, it impacts margin, which is why it impacts earnings per share. Because your top line, they actually beat estimates by about 50 million. Earning over about $3 billion. So the sales are great because you are passing on some of it to consumers. But as you indicated, profitability declines and you have bad guidance, guys. I mean, they're essentially, kind of below some of the previous estimates of 3.25 billion. They're doing a lower range of 3.15 to 3.25 billion. And then adjusted EPS also is falling below what the consensus future EPS is looking like for Hormel as well. So you're just lowering guidance because of impacts to profitability because of all of these higher prices. So Hormel is in a little conundrum right now because it seems like sales is kind of no problem, but it's the cost. You have two things you can do. You can either cut costs elsewhere, whether it's people, whether it's, other future plans of expansion to not have the depreciation cost, and or it could be to raise your prices continuously.
Yeah, your other option is shrinkflation, where you can put less in a
Yeah.
package, but that takes time to adjust your product line. You can't just snap your fingers and do that one overnight. You have to fix all your labels, you have to fix all your packaging. You have
Three
to,
less pepperonis per package. That's a shame.
I mean, I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have. You can. I'm sure if you
You
look
get
at
one little baby slice of pepperoni for $8. They're like, man, the consumer's like, why do I keep buying this?
the. I will say we did buy. We made some pizzas at home. We bought some Hormel pepperoni for it. They were great. Daughters loved
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah.
like
I'll tell you what, they do make them well.
yeah, their products are great. That's why people like Hormel, not only because they're a Dividend King, but because they have. I think I saw on their website, Lanny, 40 of their products are number one or number two in their sector. So like they dominate the sectors they're in. But the question is, Are they a stock to buy after dropping 13%? And I think there's only one way for us to find out, isn't
One way to find out is running through the DD stock screener, focus on that PE ratio, payout ratio, dividend growth rate. We'll look at the dividend yield now that the stock price has just tumbled at 13%, guys. Ticker symbol again is HRL. And you better believe we're filming this the night of August 28th. So that's when the price is as of birth. They're trading at $25.22.
it? Mm-hmm.
Now, the EPS, we're pulling it from what? Seeking Alpha.
Yeah, that's right. It was Seeking Alpha. I don't know if it adjusted for the new earnings per share because this is right after earnings. But if you said they expect 38 to 40 cents for a quarter, annualized on the high end, it's 160. On the low end, it is what that would make it 152. So 155 is probably right fair in the middle of that range.
Yeah, that's fair. That leads to a PE of just 16,
Yeah.
which is actually significantly below their average of about 24 times on the price to earnings. So, sure, stock price tumbles, you're going to get a lower PE, even if the EPS is still hanging around that $1.50 mark.
And why that's important is that metric, the payout ratio, the safety of that dividend, because you want to make sure it doesn't keep creeping up to 100% as earnings compress. Their dividend is $1.16. So your payout ratio is now just under 75%, which is well above the 60% threshold we use.
Now, what about dividend growth? Can they keep up their 58-year dividend streak? They might be able to, but it's going to be like probably that quarter of a cent. They probably can start nudging it just barely if they want to keep the streak alive. They've been growing the dividend, though, for about 5%, Bert.
Yeah, there I said they mentioned that they're king 58 years. The yield is swelling, though, Lanny. That yield is jumping up. It is close to 5% at 4.6%. So it's not that far off.
Wow. So even though if you couple that with the dividend growth rate, sure, you're over 9%, but the dividend growth rate ain't going to last for that long. Again, down 50% over the last 5 years. I did exit Hormel earlier this year in my wife's account. So, happy that we did exit Hormel because it looks a lot of red in the water here.
That's right. And I'm not buying right now. I don't, I mean, I don't think this sector is going to be facing any kind of better conditions anytime soon. And it's tough to figure out who's going to win. Like, sure, I have no doubt in my mind Hormel is going to be a great company for decades to come. No doubt about that. But is this the time to run into Hormel if you're looking for growth? Dividend growth is probably not going to happen for 4 or 5 years, or at least
Yeah.
until things turn around.
And similarly, I'm not buying Hormel after I've sold them. I'm very happy not having another position in the stock portfolio. But there are warning signs with Hormel, tighter profitability right now in the short term. Could it last longer? I'm thinking so.
Yeah.
Again, this is just not a stock that I'd like to be in right now. So let us know, though, if you guys own Hormel. Did you buy it on the flash drop of 13%? Are you just a passive income investor looking to get a consistent dividend? Hormel could be that option, albeit it's not going to grow as well as it once had.
If you haven't already, everybody, subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And remember, you're either with us or you're against us, Jack.
That was Bert the Hurt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.